Hello, Lori Michelle, the Moshiach, with episode 37 of Mommy Messiah Saves the World. Iran is drowning in blood, and it's Gaza Phase 2. Foolishness, incompetence, or both? Which is it? Is this foolishness? He says yes. Is it incompetence? He says yes. So I guess it's both. But in any moment when I look at you and the world, you, leadership, the average person, I see incompetence. I'm sorry. Are you insulted? If you're insulted, you're being foolish. I, Lori Michelle, never try to insult or put anyone down. It sounds that way to you because all of you, the entire world, every one of you, has something called an ego, and you get insulted, or people, Donald Trump, politicians, non-politicians, average people, use sarcasm and put downs to put down the person they're speaking to because they need to be right. And if I make you sound stupid, then I'm smarter. And you need to feel smarter and better than other people. And that emboldens you. I don't have that inclination. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Not really. Some of you do. You listen to me, and God bless you. Keep listening. But a lot of people are clicking on my website, hundreds, thousands. At this point, all these years later, millions. And you click away and you go away. And that is foolish because I'm really telling you the truth. But in any moment, the truth evades you. You don't know how to see what's right or wrong, good or evil in any moment. And there are people, beautiful people, who study the Torah and they believe in God and they read the laws and they study and they try so hard to make good decisions, and you fall. So I vacillate when I watch the world and I watch everyone. I say to myself, what is wrong with you? And you might say that right back at me. Ew, what is wrong with you? You're not the Messiah. And I'm actually not the one who says that this is what I am. Do you know who says that this is what I am? Him, capital H-I-M, which billions of you with a B believe in him. I'm not lying. And somehow only a very small group of you can see with your soul eyes. I'm not making this up. It's really him. In every moment, he's talking to me. And he says, that's what I am. Do I want to be the Messiah of the world? No. I want you to have a Messiah. I don't need a Messiah. I don't need a Moshiach. I want there to be the prophecy fulfilled that a Messiah shows up and leads the world, you, maybe you, to redemption. So I'm watching what's going on in Iran right now. Are you watching? Some of you are not even watching. You're more engrossed and more interested in what's happening in Minnesota. Are you foolish? That's not important. I'll get to that. I'm going to cover, I wrote down 7 points that he wants me to cover. And we're going to talk about foolishness, incompetence, or both. What's going on in this world? We will never have redemption this way. But he says, the King of the universe says that we will have redemption in this generation, and you are part of this generation. So that's good news, maybe. maybe it's not good news. There are many of you, billions of you, who are not going to be welcomed to the next phase of humanity. And this all sounds like gibberish to people who don't even believe in the Torah, the Bible, Messiah, all that stuff. Oh, that's just stuff. A lot of people like that. A lot of left-wing liberal progressives. The View. You ever watch that show? I like Whoopi Goldberg. I like her. I did like her. I still like her. I don't agree with her a lot of the time, but I can like people. I can even love people that I don't agree with. And they seem to have a problem with that, the left wing progressives. But truly, the Republicans, the conservatives, have a problem with that too. It's all personal. You take it on and you wear it like a cloak of honor that you're a conservative. I'm a God-fearing conservative. Do you ever talk like that? Of course you do. Oh, yes, he says. Oh, yes, I don't speak like that. So what's wrong with you? You got a problem. You all have this problem. And you know what it's called? If you've listened to me for years, you know. It's called the evil inclination, the Yetzer Hara. If you're Jewish, you know what the Yetzer Hara is. If you're Christian, not likely. You need to start learning. You need to stop being foolish. Some of you are foolish just because you just don't know. He said that's not the reason why. Should I go to number 7 first? He said yes. Why is this so difficult for you? I was going to end on this note and explain to you why is this so difficult for you? Why can't you make a decision that is always but always good and truthful and right on the money? Like me. Are you mad that I said that? Only some of you are not mad that I said that. And that is at the center of what is wrong with you. He created your soul. And that's who you really are. You are a spark of the Almighty. Hopefully, you're listening this long. But then he puts you in this thing called flesh and bone, a body. And you identify with this body. And you are your body. You are your genitals. You are your good hair day. You are this physical silly putty that he put you in. But you're really not that. Not that this is not important. It's very important. It's an honor and a privilege to journey in this physical world in something called a body. But it's not really, truly who you are. And this body carries you around from the time you're born, hyphen, I've spoken about that, to the end of your hyphen, you're dead. So when you die, you're no longer foolish. You know, whoa, was I just in a drunken stupor? Why was I so foolish? This body makes you foolish. Foolish. I need sex. I need eggs. I need bread. I, me, ego. I look so good. How does my hair look today? I'm going to get a boyfriend, a girlfriend, my bank account, my stock portfolio, can I say it? My bullshit Bitcoin portfolio. Yeah, I don't like Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency, money, money, money. Or maybe you're a left-wing liberal progressive and you're identifying with the Marxist socialists like Mamdani, right? So you get placed in a body and all of a sudden you have your group, your thing, your ideology, your belief system, and you fall apart when you choose You sound so stupid often. Some of you, not too often. Some of you, God bless you if you're listening. You believe in God. You read the Torah, the Bible. You believe. You're a believer. And you try so hard to be a good, God-fearing person. That's good. But you still choose stupidity. Was it episode 28? I don't even remember. There's a Yetzirah meter, and it starts with stupid. And I could give you a stupid test, but you would be insulted, and that would be stupid. You get put in a body, and you're like, you're blind and you're deaf, and you can't see the truth in any moment. So, number 7, why is this so difficult for you? Because this body intoxicates you and it covers who you really are. But me, Lori Michelle, the Moshiach, I don't have that cover. It's sort of like I'm a floaty, no kidding, Lori. Yeah, floaty spirit. It's like I don't really have a body. I think with my soul. I see with my soul. If I'm talking to you, I could see a little muscle in your eyebrow go up or down, and I feel the Yetzirah in you, and I can actually almost read your mind. And I feel, Ixa, get away! Evil. That's what I feel. You feel that sometimes. Sometimes your soul is very intuitive and you pick it up. And some of you are very spiritual, but you still have this thing called the Yetzirah. You're still in your body and you're still identifying with your bank account and your stuff and your body. And if you're young, you really identify with your body. You better give that one up. It goes. Let me tell you, you're going to get old and ugly, or you're going to die young, like the people in Iran. So, should I go to number 1? So, that's why it's difficult. You're in a body, and there's a duality, and in every moment, He gives you freedom to choose the wrong thing, Yetzirah, evil, or the right thing, God and goodness. And you fall all the time. You're tricked all the time. So I'm going to go through 6 areas right now. The first thing I'm going to talk about today, Hashem outlined this. I didn't outline this. Do you realize that? He said, some of you realize that. He gave me 6 points to go through. The first one is the title, Foolishness, Incompetence, or both. The first thing he wants me to talk about is April Fool's Day. I spoke about it last week. April Fool's Day 2026 is Pesach. You think that's a coincidence? He says, not at all. So I'm going to ask you a question about April Fool's Day. Do you think that April Fool's jokes, April Fool's Day, has it ever been funny to you? He says yes. Admit it, admit it, admit it. For me, Lori Michelle, who's this floaty, unusual person, different from all of you, I don't have an ego. I don't have the evil inclination at all. It doesn't make sense to me. I have never liked or appreciated April Fool's Day. So interesting that Pesach this year, of all years, lands on April Fool's Day. So who's going to be foolish and not listen to Mommy Messiah, not buy the Blindsided by Messiah, my book that I've been waving at you for 7 years? Or incompetent. Are you incompetent? You're just not capable. And as I said before, I look at you and I see the foolishness. I see that, but I see that you're not capable. He said, oh, yes, you are. I want you to be capable. I see doctors and lawyers and professionals And you're so much smarter than I am when it comes to stuff. But when it comes to choosing good over evil or God over Satan, I know, Satan, it's a real thing. You fall apart. You can't do it. And I say to Hashem all the time, the Goyim, the Christians, your prophecy has to be the truth because there's no hope here. We can't have redemption like this. There cannot be redemption. Look at the world. You will not wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You can't see that I'm sincere and that I'm really talking to him. A few of you can. A few of you, the Goyim are right. We're going to blow. The dam is going to blow, and that star, wherever it is going to take us out. He said, no. So it's not up to me. It's up to you and Hashem. I'm just Skippy peanut butter in the middle of two pieces of bread. That's what I am. And I'm going to keep going. So April Fool's Day, not funny, not at all. April 1st, 2026, Pesach, Passover. He wants this to get on the road. And I, Lori Michelle, don't choose the stupid. I don't choose it because it makes no sense, the Yetzer Hara. And all I want to do is come together with you, and the rabbis can't do this without the rabbis. Are you aware? He says you're not aware. There's sirens right now. I don't know if it's coming on the audio. I could barely hear right now. I'm a deaf lady. I could barely hear. Pun. Anyway, the rabbis, we need to come together with the books and the halacha and the laws. And I'm going to speak about things, and you're going to ask questions, and the rabbis are going to source everything that I'm teaching, because it can be sourced. Everything I teach is written somewhere. He said, absolutely. So April Fool's Day, Pesach. So he wants me to go on to a few topics and try to pick out, are you foolish? Are you incompetent? Do you see the truth? I'm going to point out some things right now. And let's see, it's sort of a stupid test. Let's see how many things you get correct. And then at the end, if you're correct about everything that I see, are you going to pat yourself on the back and say, yes, I'm so smart? That would be stupid. Don't do that. So Minnesota. So many of you are engrossed in watching the newsfeed from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I actually have spent time in Minnesota. It's very cold there. When you go in a car in Minnesota, your breath actually can freeze on the inside of your windshield. It's very cold there. And the ICE and Border Police and all of these federal agents are there trying to arrest and take out illegal immigrants who are guilty of some of the most heinous crimes. This is the position of the government. And if you're listening this far, chances are pretty good, he says yes, that you're a Trump supporter and you see what I see. This is terrible. All these protests. Do you see why the protests are happening? Maybe. I watched the news feed, and the news feed, the right-wing conservative news feed, has a lot right. They're using this to deflect from some terrible corruption that's going on in Minneapolis. Have you watched that also? They've been stealing funds and sending it to Somalia. And yeah, it's he says it's true. There's a lot of politicians who have become very wealthy in a very short period of time. Had that happen, and all this money is being funneled out of the country, out of the United States, to foreign countries that are run by terrorist organizations. And suddenly, that was uncovered, right? And suddenly there's protests all over Minneapolis. Go look at the news feed. They uncovered this scandalous situation in Minneapolis where Governor Walz actually had to stop running for a second term or third term. I don't know. He's governor of Minnesota. He actually pulled out of the race because of this. And suddenly there's protests all over Minneapolis. What's that all about? So you all use the media and issues, and you rabble rouse and you gather people in groups, and that Trump haters, let's go get ICE agents, let's go take them out because they're Nazis. And it's very inflammatory, and it's very evil. But you know what else is evil? The other side, Republicans speaking about Governor Walz and all these people who might be guilty, but their language is very fiery and inciting of hatred and divisiveness. Who does such a thing? You all do it. And all these protests all over Minneapolis, Minnesota, it's very troubling. At the same time, we're watching Iran implode, right? Protests, the crackdown, they shut down the internet and phone calls, and they're mass killing. The Iranian regime is mass murdering its own people. Yet, we don't see protests, strangely. We saw a lot of protests, pro-Palestinian protests, the Palestinian Hamas, I am Hamas people. Those people? They were very agitated and very angry with Israel, right? Genocide, river to the sea. I am Hamas. Remember that? Well, they're strangely silent right now. And I said to Hashem, Hamas is mini-me. They are a product of Iran. So they can't really protest against what Iran is doing, because then they have blood on their own hands, don't they? He says, yes. So I'm pointing all this out. And if you're following along and you're understanding what I'm saying and you're agreeing with what I'm saying, well, good for you. But in any moment, even you veer and can't see this correctly. You may see in this moment that Donald Trump, President Trump, threatening to go in and help the people of Iran. I don't know what's happening in this particular moment that I'm recording, but he said something to the effect of, if you start executing people, we're gonna come in and we're gonna do something about that, right? If people start dying, well, at first we didn't know what was the number. What was the magic number that it had to hit of people being murdered by the Iranian regime for Donald Trump to follow up on what he was saying? Was it 100, 200, 1,000? The estimates now are in the tens of thousands of dead Iranians. And then they were threatening they were going to do public hangings. And Donald Trump, President Trump, said that if you do that, the result will be very severe. He was threatening Iran. As I said, as I'm recording this, I don't know what President Trump is doing about this, but he's getting a lot of advice. He's getting advice from Israel, and I'm from Israel. He's getting advice from his advisors, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, all his military advisors, and they're warning him. And the Arab nations in this area are warning him not to get involved right now, that it could be a powder keg and it could cause oil prices to spike. It could have very damaging effects to the economy. All of this other stuff came into view. And maybe that's why President Trump at this moment hasn't done anything yet. Maybe he will. Last I heard last night, within 24 hours, the United States was going to do something. Today I heard that the Iranian regime was moving millions of dollars out of Iran, like they're going to cut and run. I don't know what's happening there. But what I can say is, when it comes to choosing right from wrong, good from evil, you all have this problem. It's so difficult for you. You're either foolish, incompetent, or both. He says yes. And why is that? Because you're concerned, back to what I said in the beginning of this podcast, you're concerned about your body, your hyphen, this lifetime. This lifetime that is for Donald Trump, he's about going to be 80. Maybe he'll live 90 years. Maybe he'll live 100 years. Maybe. But that's what you're concerned about, your legacy, I, me. And I don't have that inclination. My inclination is there's correct, there's right, there's godly, and there's wrong in any moment. And the right choice, the good choice, the choice that he would want you to take could be very painful. It could cause the oil prices to plummet and the economies around the world to go in the toilet and the stock market crashes, stuff you don't want. He said, yes, but it's still the right choice. It's still the godly choice. And you, whoever you are, Rabbi Franklin Graham, I like him. I heard him speak yesterday. No matter who you are, how godly you are, you got a week back. You cave in. You give in to the Yetzer Hara, to the devil. You negotiate. J.D. Vance wants to negotiate with the Iranian regime. Let's go back to the table and talk about nukes. What's there to talk about? What is there to talk about with them? Hashem said nothing. So Gaza Phase 2. They just announced that in the middle of this mess. There's protests all over the United States. They're protesting all over Minneapolis. People are being shot. They're calling the ICE agents Nazis. They're calling Donald Trump Adolf Hitler. Very, very nasty, hate-filled rhetoric. And now they just announced, in the middle of all this, and Iran, we know, mass murder, they announced it's Phase 2. We're moving on. We're going to have peace in Gaza. And there's still an Israeli hostage, a body, Ron, being held in Gaza. And there was so many points in Phase 1 that have not been met yet. So why are we in Phase 2? Right, wrong, good, evil. If you say something, you need to walk your talk. You need to stick with what you said. You need to be consistent. That's godly. He says, yes, I really like President Trump. There's a lot of people I really like, but you all, no matter who you are, you all play this game of foolishness, being foolish, and incompetent. Incompetent doesn't mean you're not competent and doesn't mean you're not smart. It means when it comes to choosing good over evil, God over the other guy, you fall apart. You don't know what you're doing. It's really upsetting to me. And I say to Hashem, I love them. Hashem, you gave them a task they cannot do. You are not capable. I want you to be capable. He says you're capable. You got to love him. He believes in you. I want to believe in you. Holy smokes. So what do we do here? We're in phase 2. There's still a hostage in Gaza. What about that? Hamas is still in charge. What about that? What's going on here? And Hashem says, Hashem, God, King, there's only one, him. There's no 20-point plan. He says the only path to peace is that Gaza is run by Israel. Israel has to take over the strip. Well, you won't believe me, but that's what Hashem says. And last point that I'll bring up that maybe you've been following is Greenland. Greenland. What does God say about Greenland? He says, the 51st state of the United States. He says, yes, I know. Do I care about Greenland? If it's good for the United States and it's good for the world and it's good for world peace and redemption, I'm all for it. He says yes. Are you aware about Greenland? Are you following the news feed? Are you thinking that Donald Trump is just being stupid? No. Hashem says 51st state. Hashem says the people of Greenland would be very smart to take him up on that offer. He just said absolutely. Okay. So take it for what it's worth. It comes from the Messiah, me. And for me, do I think that I'm perfect? No. Do I think I'm the smartest person in the room? No. But I think I know right from wrong, good from evil, and I can read you like a book. I can. And I don't like what I'm reading sometimes. Sometimes I love what I hear from you. And then other times I watch your facial muscles and I think, Ixa, get me out of here, Hashem. Get me out of here. It's never going to be good here. They're just not capable. He said, oh, yes, you are. So I'm looking forward to eating this. And you can't, if you're Ashkenazi, you can't have peanut butter on Pesach. So I'm hoping that by April Fool's Day, the morning of, that I can eat this whole jar. I love Skippy. It's full of sugar. It's not good for you, but I like it. And this is a Hebrew version, right? This says classic peanut butter, Skippy peanut butter. I would like to eat this before Passover because Ashkenazi Jews are not allowed to eat peanut butter. I didn't know that growing up, by the way. My mother used to give me peanut butter and jelly on matzah, and I would go to school with it. We went to school. Veal Parmesan, Big Macs, 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. That's your Messiah, people. So why am I the Moshiach? Because I am every person. I have walked in your shoes. I know how dreadful this world is. I know what's wrong, and I can help you get it right. He says yes. So we'll see. April Fool's Day. Something's got to give, people.